I'm Anil Kumar, and in this video we will learn how to write equation of a line from the given graph. So we'll have three examples in this particular video. The first one here is to determine the equation of line from the given graph. Here we have graph of a line which is increasing with y-intercept of -2. You need to write equation of this line in two forms. So let's write down in slope-intercept form first. Slope and y-intercept, which is of the form y equals to mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is y-intercept. So if you see this graph, you'll find that the y-intercept is at -2. And to find slope, we have to identify two good points. So there seems to be a good point at 4, 1. Let's make a triangle to form the slope. So that's the triangle. We can count rise over run and get the answer. But I'll prefer to write coordinate points. Coordinate for the first point here, which is y-intercept, is at x value of 0, we have y value of -2. So at x value of 0, we have y value of -2. And this point, at x value of 4, we have y value of 1. So we know b is equals to -2, and m is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So these are the 2 points. 1 minus -2, difference in y value, 1 minus -2 divided by 4 minus 0 gives us 1 plus 2, which is 3 over 4, right? So 3 over 4 is the slope. So we know both slope and y-intercept. We can write on the equation as y equals to slope of 3 over 4 x, and y-intercept is -2. So that becomes the equation of the line in slope-intercept form, right? Now, without doing this calculation, you could also find rise over run. See, the rise is from -2 to 1, so it is like 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit. Is it okay? So that is the rise, and the run is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So run equals to 4, rise equals to 3, so rise over run is 3 over 4. A line which is going upwards as you move from left to right will have a positive slope, so that confirms positive 3 over 4. So these are kind of checks, correct? Now let's write down this equation in standard form. So now we'll write this equation in standard form. So we can multiply everything by 4. So the first step is multiply each thing because we don't want any fractions. So we get 4y equals to 4 times 3 over 4x minus 2 times 4. Avoid fractions, right? That is first thing. Now as you can see, this 4 and 4 cancels. So we get 4y equals to 3x minus, this is like times 4. So minus 8. Bring all the terms together so that x is positive coefficient, right? So we want to keep 3x positive. So we'll keep them on the right side, right? 3x minus 4y minus 8 equals to 0. So that becomes the equation, which I could write here as 3x minus 4y minus 8 equals to 0. So that is how we could write down this equation in standard form, correct? So as you can see, whenever you want to write in standard form, keep x terms first with positive coefficient, correct? So let's take another example. This time we'll take a line with negative slope. So here is the one. You can pause the video, answer the question, and then check with my solution. So this time let's go a bit faster. Y-intercept is 4. So let's say y-intercept, which is b, equals to 4, and slope which is m, is equals to how much. So you could consider 2 points once again. X and y intercepts are very good points to take, correct? So if you want to write down the coordinates, then this value here is 2, 0, and the value here is 0, 4, right? So slope could be difference in y values. You could write 0 minus 4 divided by 2 minus 0. Maintain the order, correct? So we get minus 4 over 2, which is minus 2. So rise over run is minus 2. Dropping as you go from left to right, it is falling down, so slope should be negative, correct? Equation of line is y equals to mx plus b. So you can write down y equals to slope of minus 2x and y-intercept of plus 4. So that gives you the equation in slope-intercept form, y equals to minus 2x plus 4. You could rearrange, bringing x terms to the left. We get 2x plus y minus 4 equals to 0, and that becomes your equation in standard form. Is it okay? So this is standard form. The earlier was in slope, y-intercept form, correct? Let's take one more example, and this time we have a horizontal line. So these are different lines which you could get. So we are now working on a horizontal line. What is the slope of this line? Well, the slope is it rising? Is it falling? Neither of the two, right? We say slope is 0. Change in y is 0. See, slope m is rise over run, and in this particular case, rise or change in y is 0, and therefore numerator is 0, slope is 0. You can take 2 points as we did earlier also, 1 and some other point. Let's say this point, okay? So the 2 points which we are considering now are, this is at x equals to 0, y is 2. At x equals to 4, y is again 2, right? So in this case, m is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 2 minus 2, do you see that? 2 minus 2 over 4 minus 0, 4 minus 0, which is 0 over 4. 0 divided by anything will be 0. So slope is 0. The equation of the line can be written as y equals to mx plus b, and in this case b, the y-intercept is how much? Is 2. We know b equals to 2. The y-intercept, let me write down here, y-intercept. Since we know b equals to 2 and m equals to 0, we can write down this equation as y equals to 2, right? So that becomes the equation of the line. And in standard form, how are you going to write it? We'll just bring 2 to the left side, and we can write this as y minus 2 equals to 0. So we have both the forms here. This becomes the standard form, and that is slope y-intercept form. So I hope that is clear. So in standard form, at times you may not have any x in the equation. Rather, the coefficient of x is 0, correct? Now let me add here, and that is to note that if you have a vertical line, let's take a line here which is vertical. Let's say the line which is having x-intercept of 2. Let's say this line, let's call this line as line 3. So what is the equation of line 3? You will notice that it has undefined slope. That is, run is 0. Earlier, rise was 0, run is 0. So undefined because slope is rise over run or change in y value over change in x value. In this case, delta x is 0. So it is not moving horizontally. So division by 0 is not possible. So it's called undefined. A line, vertical line. So this is a vertical line with undefined slope. So what can be the equation? Definitely, we cannot write equation of this line in the form of y equals to mx plus b since m is undefined. So how do we write this equation? This equation is written as, so I'm writing in red, x equals to 2. The x value is 2 here. Do you see that? At each and every point on the line, x value is 2. So x equals to 2 is the equation, or you could write x minus 2 equals to 0. So any one of these two equations could represent line which is vertical. So normally we look at the x-intercepts and then write down the value as x equals to that x-intercept. So if I have a line somewhere here, let us say, let me draw another line here, and the x-intercept is minus 1, then the equation of this line will be x equals to minus 1. Do you get the idea? So that is how you can actually write equation of any line. Remember, if the lines are vertical, then we cannot use slope-intercept form. But any other line could be written in slope-intercept form. I hope that helps. Feel free to share your comments and views. Share my videos, and if you like, that'll be great. Thank you, and all the best.